Hello dear ones, I was struggling with to wear my glasses or not. Everything's got very blurred. We've had a huge jolt to our magnetic field this morning. Well, apparently a couple of days the sun sends out these CMEs and solar flares, and the magnetic field's had a shock. So I'm feeling a little bit woozy. I expect you're all affected in some way. But I'm very blurred. I don't know what's happened to my eyesight, but I've got very blurred. I can just about see myself. I don't wear my glasses because it reflects on the camera sometimes, and of course but it's better to wear them because it covers up my bags. They're very bad today. So I've had quite a peculiar time with different energies. I expect you all have a challenging times to know what. I wish I knew what it all meant, but it's just beyond me. So I get a glimmer sometimes. But I had a funny experience the other day with I found somebody to help me with getting my curtains down. You pay somebody a lot of money actually. They're supposed to be helping the elderly. Well, they help them, yeah, but at quite a price. And the woman fell in the door. She was so she was so full of energy and vitality. She never stopped talking. She actually quite wore me out. Because see, living quietly on my own, not having company, you do get quite insular. And it was lovely to have the company, but really, after she'd gone, I thought, oh my God, I felt I got to go to lie down. So anyway, I felt I couldn't describe what it was. I didn't know what it was that upset me, but I did feel quite exhausted and very strange. And I thought, well, it's the energies, isn't it? That's the lower energies. Obviously, I'm going into the higher energies, and you meet these people that are just not there yet. That's just the way they are, but they've got so much of this other energy. You've got to lower yourself, and of course, you've got to build it up again. So I was called to lie down actually. I think it was the following day. It wasn't the same day, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And I had to, when I go for a lie down, it's usually I'm being called for healing or tuition or something. It's not asleep. It's usually either late morning or afternoon. And I lie down and I know I'm gone. I'm really gone because the chap came with a lawnmower, electric, petrol lawnmower, right outside my bedroom window, and I didn't hear a thing for about an hour, so I was obviously gone somewhere. And when I came to, I thought, wow, that was lovely, whatever it was. And I was able to get on with the day, and I thought, I do feel different. It was as though some part of me had come back. I don't know how else to explain it. The 23rd Psalm, there's a saying, isn't there? There's one sentence, He restores my soul. Now, I don't know whether it was a soul retrieval, whether it was part of me that had been restored, whether it was part of me that had been healed, whether it was a chakra, could be anything. But I did feel, wow, I feel like me again. The me that I used to have years ago. And it was just wonderful. I hope it lasts. Nothing spectacular, but just a sense of feeling integrated and not having to be so scattered. I felt more kind of centered really, and it was how I used to feel. And I thought, gosh, this is wonderful. What can we do with the day? So that was a very positive experience, I think, and it felt really good to me. So I was going to tell a little story about a DVD, my technology story. Honestly, I'm convinced that these things happen to us. I feel they to expand our consciousness, because the challenge does. Each one had a different challenge, but it's like really hard work to get through it, to work out what's going on, because technology these days and Amazon, well, they are. I think the thing is, all these companies almost give out too much information, and you get these emails. And do I have to read all this? The bank. We've got, you have all these words. Do I need all? So I don't read half of it. But anyway, this DVD, I had a DVD, a film I wanted to watch. It's called Called to Spy. It's a very good Second World War II film, true story actually, about the women that they found to be spies. Very lovely story, very good story. I wanted the film. I've seen it on Netflix and it's not there anymore, and I love the story, so I thought they have it on Amazon. So I found it and I purchased it, so I thought, and it's on Prime. I don't know, you may not know what I'm talking about, but anyway, you can't actually buy it to have it in your possession. There's something on Prime, it's in their library, and you can click on the internet and watch it on their thing. It's only about £3. It wasn't too expensive. I thought, no, I'll try this. I'll try it because I really would like to have had it here. But anyway, I clicked onto it. It's all in Hindi. And I got on the settings, and you know what mess I get into. I thought I tried to get the English. They just wouldn't do English. It's an English film, British, English, whatever, about the English side of things in the Second World War and how we went to France and all. Anyway, I thought, well, why is it in Hindi? So, and how do you get hold of somebody? I tried to get hold of Amazon. It was all these "we'll call you back" stuff. They never did, or they did, and it was a mess. In the end, I had to give up, and I found an old address in my phone book for somebody I talked to some years ago about something. It was years ago. I thought, well, I can give it a go. How do I get this out of Hindi, or can you send me the DVD? Anyway, I was so surprised that a reply came back from somebody in Amazon, a chap that found this email, and I thought that is a miracle. Somebody picked it up, and he explained it all, and he said, you can buy it, da, da, da. I said, no, I've already bought it. I was trying to explain to them I had already bought it. I don't want to pay for it again. Can't you just send it to me? No, this is where you buy it, wait long, URL, whatever you call it. This is where you buy it. And I kept going into it on their website and finding it, but it wasn't the same. The pictures on the front of a DVD, it wasn't the same. I thought, who are these people? So I went into the oh God. I went into the film thing and found out who the cast was, and it took me ages to find out, well, are these people the same? Because sometimes they remake films, don't they? And it's never the same. They remake them. So I thought, well, I recognised one or two of these ones. I didn't know the actors' names. So I thought, well, is it the same film, or is it a different DVD? Do I want to buy another one if it's not the right one? This is how I hope you're keeping pace with all this. So anyway, I thought, well, at the end of the day, I've got to take a chance on this. I looked at the characters and I thought, well, he didn't look as though he's in it. And, it's a little picture. You don't get much from a picture, do you? But on the one that I bought to watch, it was a completely different picture. It was the people I recognised. Oh, yes, I know them. They're the ones I've seen. This is on the one DVD, the Prime, what's the name, that I'd seen, and I thought, I recognise them. Why can't I have them? Well, why can't I have them? I thought, well, at the end of the day, I need the film. Let's just take a chance on it and see what happens. So anyway, I did order it, and they did me a special price because obviously it was a mess, and it came yesterday. And I couldn't believe it. On the front of it was the picture that I wanted. It was on the reverse. Oh dear. And then, so I was so excited, I put it on. And I thought, oh no, I don't believe it. There's no subtitles. Off. Clicked on subtitles. See, on Netflix you always get subtitles, and I'm a bit hard of hearing. Not deaf completely, but I do have hearing aids, so this thing, no subtitles. And I thought, I don't believe it. After all I've been through to get this film, they haven't got subtitles. I don't know how they work it. Apparently that's why Amazon put Hindi on it. Why Hindi, I don't know. Anyway, so I did. I had to give in. I think this is the story about surrender. In the end, I thought I had to give in. I want to watch the film, so I've got my hearing aids out, and they don't work very well. I can hear, but I don't get the words aren't very clear. So I said, I don't believe this is happening. I'll have to ring up Netflix and see if they can find it for me. So that was a very strange experience. I got the film, and it's the pictures I wanted are on the reverse, with the right people in it, but no subtitles. I'm going to see what... Well, I've got another story, whether I'll have time to tell it or not, I don't know. It's another story of Silly Me, another Silly Me story. It's many, many years ago. I went to see my spiritual master called Maharaji, and he was talking in Nottingham, which is about 60 miles away. I didn't really want to drive because I can obviously drive there, but parking and finding it. I thought, let's get on the train. Well, it seemed like a good idea at a time, but it isn't a good idea because it's twice as complicated. I had to drive into town, leave the car in a car park at great expense to get on the train to go to Nottingham, which I did, and I did find it, and it was a wonderful evening, wonderful evening. And when I got ready to come home after the session, I got to the station. I walked, I think that's right, I walked to the station. Where's my bunch of keys? I can remember this bunch of keys. It had my car keys, my back door, everything on it. I put it under the seat on the floor. Why I did that, I do not know. Silly me, silly me. I don't know why I had them in my hand even. I had a handbag. I don't know to this day why I did that. Anyway, I thought, where are my keys? Oh dear, they're still back at the auditorium under my seat. What shall I do? There's no good going back there because they wouldn't have found them or whatever. So how am I going to get out of this jam? My car is parked in a car park in town where I live here. Or was it? You know what I mean. Yes. Well, it's parked in Lincoln. That's right. I'd had to drive from my little cottage, which I was in then, drive into Lincoln and park the car at great expense for the whole day, and then get the train. So I was stuck at the train station. I'd missed the train by having to sort of worry about these blooming keys. I'd missed the train. I thought, I'm in Nottingham. How am I going to get home and get to my car and get to my home without any keys? Oh, this is a saga. This is a saga. So I thought, I'll get a taxi. It's about 60 miles. And I got this little chap. He was Hindi. Well, I think he was. He was a dear little Indian chap. And I explained where I wanted to get to. I don't think he really understood, actually, how far it was. 60 miles. It was going to cost me a fortune. So anyway, we got in a taxi and we set off on the main A46. Anyone that knows the area will know the A4. It's a straight road. It's an easy journey, actually, driving-wise, once you get on it to my home. And we were sitting there, and it took about an hour, I suppose, I don't know. Anyway, and I could feel he was getting a bit panicked. He said, how much further is it? He thought he was just going to go round the corner for a quick trip, and it was this 60-mile journey. I don't know whether he thought he had enough petrol or what, but I tried to explain. I said, well, it is, we're going to, where was I? Lincoln. We're going to Lincoln. So then I thought, well, then what am I going to do? I still got to get in my car without car keys. So I said, this is quick thinking. This is how good I can be when I get going. I thought, I know what we'll do. We'll get to Lincoln, then I'll get him. I had to pay him, so he had to drop me off at an ATM for the money, cash. Broke my heart, that did. Well, it was about 60 quid in those days, it's going back a bit. I said, could you drive me to my home? Another 20 miles from Lincoln to my little cottage, where I could get in, hopefully. I hope I could get in with one of these keys. Pick up my keys, my spare keys for the car, and then he could take me back into town to get into my car, which we did. It actually worked quite well. I did have a spare car key somewhere. I think it was magic. There's a bit of magic going on somewhere. Got back in his car and he took me back down to the station so that I could get in my car. I don't know how I got into the house. I must have had one of these key things with a spare key in or something. I mean, I really can't remember the details. I just know I was in one big panic, financially and emotionally, and this poor man was like, I said, can you get your way back? Can you go back to Nottingham? I mean, obviously he would find his way, but from the town, Lincoln, that's the difficult bit, isn't it, getting back onto the motorway. Anyway, got into my car. I had a GTI then. Oh God, it was a fantastic little vroom vroom twin cam. Oh yes, what a car. So of course it had been there all day. It cost me a fortune. He cost me a fortune, but I did get home and I'm thinking, how did I do that? I never got the keys back. When I didn't search, I knew they would say, oh no, they probably would have got them, I don't know. So I think I better go. I think I'm running over time. I certainly am, dear boys and girls. I've got lots of stories like that. I thought that would make you laugh. Me and my, well, it wasn't. I managed to get out of it. I always do. So take care, my darlings. It's not a very nice day, and beware of the magnetic field. If you feel stressed, get your feet into the earth, into water, whatever. Get earthed. Okay, take care for now then. God bless. Oh, you stupid thing.